2000s, the economy was booming, and the dollar was high equivalent to our money. And they said, look, come here for 2 years, you work and you pay your debt. So my dad came by himself on a tourist visa, and never left since. My parents established a life here first, eventually moved up to Connecticut, Danbury, Connecticut, where there was a huge population of Brazilians and Portuguese. So as always, immigrants kind of move towards, the people of their own. So that's how it happened. That's how I ended up in Connecticut. And I didn't speak no English, but then again, I enrolled in the school, and because the population of Brazilians and immigrants were so high around that area, they actually had a Brazilian teacher there. So that transition wasn't as tough, but it was still very tough because we were segregated, right? We had class only other immigrants. The reason why I went to a technical high school is also my English wasn't that good, and it was a little bit of a slower pace. You had the option to do a trade because I wasn't planning to go to college. The coach there only made us speak English, even the teammates. So that was a good experience, and did pretty well in high school. Finished my senior year fourth out of 124 seniors. Academic-wise, did pretty well in soccer. Was captain junior and senior year, won the conference. Got a lot of looks from colleges around the region, Division I, Division II, both here in Northeast and the South, but I couldn't go. Today, my parents own a small business, they're doing well, so I'm glad that, they stayed back, but I decided that I had to leave. And it wasn't because I had intentions coming back one day and play here. I just had to leave because I knew that, education was my path. The following month, booked a ticket and I left. I left my parents here, I left my sister, and I went back to Brazil. After being 4 years straight without leaving, I went back to Brazil that summer. And, it wasn't the same. I felt like I've lost it, right? It's my country, my whole family's there, but my immediate family's here. All my friends are here. I left, significant people behind. So I just felt like, I need to pick my head up. I know I can do this. I had 2 months left on my tourist visa, and that I could try to come back. So things just magically flipped 360 for me between June and November, right? And it was just a light bulb being in Brazil. It was something. Look, I realized that I couldn't take being away from my parents at that time. I couldn't take how things in Brazil were working. Being used to being in a country like this, you don't realize how bad things are in a third world country. It's tough to say, but it's somewhat hopeless at some point. Being there as a young adult at that time I was. So I felt empty being there. I felt empty being here. So I needed to figure out something. I wasn't a nerd. I just worked hard.
Yeah.
And the reason why I worked hard was because I told myself when I come back here, I'm gonna control everything that I can control, and everything that I cannot control, things are just gonna happen. And that's what I did. Again, I felt like I was back to zero. I was like, I faced this before, right? I was in high school. I did everything I could. I did awesome both on and off the field, and then boom, a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm here. I did 2 years of community college. I went 2 years at Quinnipiac, and then I finished, and boom, rock. I feel like you want to give up, right? You kind of feel like whatever. I'll just go back to Brazil. I can get an amazing job. I speak English fluently, and I have a degree from university. But then again, that's not what I wanted, right? That's the easier route. Just go back, right? That's the easier route. So I said to myself, okay, I was here before this position. My family's not going to leave. They're supporting me. Things clicked. Now I'm in school. I'm doing my master's. I'm an RA. Things are getting paid and things are rolling, right? But in the back of my mind, look, I still have this problem.
Right.
Somehow, just I believe in God. I'm religious. As Morgan Stanley offered me an internship. To me, that was victory, right? Like I made it. I have an internship and a job, and they're gonna help me with my work visa, and I don't have to worry about immigration problems anymore. But not so soon, right? It's a lottery. It's just, they pick your name out of a hat, just like that. I wasn't picked, right? So I wasn't picked. So what do? I have to stop working. But what's the way that can keep me working? Go back to school. If you're gonna be with me, this is it. I'm like this, right? So I decided to say that because think about it, right? Being with someone in this mess. Okay, it's a mess that I didn't choose to be, obviously, but it's a lot for someone, right? And I told her that, and she's still stuck with me. It's always in the back of your head. Like I said, it's in a room. It's an invisible person, right? And that's why, like I told you, the first time I met her, not the first time that we're gonna start talking serious, I like I'm telling you my life, but even more detail there, I laid out everything. I'm a pretty emotional, transparent person, and I think that's what helped me along the way, is not to keep things inside, because I'm still dealing with the situation. Fast forward to now, I'm married to her. Yeah, we applied for a green card. I got my work authorization because of it, and I'm still working because of it. But the immigration system is not granting me the green card yet because I overstayed back in high school. If you're looking at someone that has a history, went to high school, okay, did well, then went to college, did well, got a job, or paying the taxes, like what? Like, I'm contributing to society. I'm doing volunteer work, I'm paying tax, like what, and that's what I wish, the little bit of the immigration system will look is a little bit of a merit base instead of, one thing that happened in the past, and basically they're using that against me. They're erasing everything else that I've contributed to society here, and I did. Yeah, you want to feel hopeless. Yeah, you want to say, look, is it worth it, right? But it is worth it. And I'm committed. I'm gonna fight till the end, right? If they deny me now, I'm gonna appeal it, and I'm gonna keep going, because I've worked so hard to be where I am, to just say, look, I just can't do it. I'm gonna go to Europe, or Angela, let's move somewhere. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna make this work, and because I truly believe, that I deserve to be here. Understand that sometimes, you can't really tell what someone is going through. If people look at me, they probably didn't know half of what I went through. Love of the country when I first got here, right? I think that, I'm Brazilian. I'm 100% from Brazil, but I think that, the diversity here and the freedom to not to sound too clingy, but to be anything that you want, and to have, the financial ability to do anything you want. Just take care of my mental health, and I think that's most important. It's just because if here is not good, nothing else will work.